Hey, welcome, SpeedGaming fans. We've got some Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide action coming on tonight with Kielbasiago versus Javinat0r going face to face in the finals of the Banon's Battle Plan draft tournament. Kiel has a 2-0 lead on Javinat0r right now, but these races have been pretty close. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no favorite for this one. And I'm joined in commentary by Elastoid right now. How you doing this evening?
So great, Edge. So glad that you could join me in the commentary booth today. Um, it looks like I might have caught Keel off guard. I just quit out and let them get going. So their race should be getting started in a couple seconds. Yep, the race has officially started. So yeah, here's hoping since they're doing all right.
Well, do you want to take us through how things shook out in the draft?
Absolutely, I do. So this race actually this draft started with Kielbasiago choosing something that he knew that Javinat0r was going to veto, which is the post scarcity equipment. Neither of them really like that, and just basically daring him to choose it or to accept it. But yeah, Jav didn't call his bluff. He accepted it and or he vetoed it, and so they went with finesse experience. They're starting with just 2 characters. It's an austere start. They do have Y remove on. Enemies are drafted to tough. And it's going to be 6 dragons. It's a pain, especially with no magic. Looks like there's an early on. There's an Illumina available. So Keel and Jab both grabbing that. They're going to be glad to do it.
Well, it's not just the Illumina that's available. The Curse Shield is only 4 as well. So let's just give you the 2 best pieces of gear in the game and go nuts.
Absolutely. Looks like there's a little bit of trouble with the cropping right now. I mean, both screens are visible though. We can we can get it done with this for the moment. A ribbon early as well is going to make it way easier to unlock that curse shield. So Javinat0r using the Y remove to get into the shed. I like that play. I like that you don't have to go back into Narsh in the world of balance to get in there.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just beat up the scholar that usually blocks this classroom too. But yeah, Keel done, and on his way already. Meanwhile, Jav is just there's bodies everywhere. Just
yeah, both players making ample use of Y remove. It not only makes you go fast, it feels incredibly satisfying to get rid of those dudes that are in your path. It looks like with a Setzer start, but no gold to really start out. Setzer knows Blitz though. They shouldn't have any trouble getting started with Blitz being available.
yeah, it's the thing with Blitz is it's designed to go on a character that has absolute garbage magic stat to begin with. So if it lands on anybody, it's pretty useful no matter who.
Absolutely, you know, if it lands on someone like Realm, then it's way better. But just on someone like Setzer or Sabin, anybody like that, it's still going to be good.
All right, so we're gonna rework the video a little bit here. I guess in the meantime, can you just describe the format of the tournament real fast?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The tournament started with the it was a qualifier into pods, and there were 16 players that each sort of made it out of there. Both Kielbasiago and Javinat0r, they both made it out of their pods. They both had sort of a rough path to get here as well. In the knockout stages, Kielbasiago ran into Doesn't, and Javinat0r ran into Locke. Both players incredibly resourceful and among the favorites to win the tournament, and both of them were roundly defeated by their competitors here. Both Jav and Kiel got out of there 2-0, so definitely a hype matchup going on today. Kiel's taken an early lead, but you can't count Javinat0r out of these.
Yeah, so we found an ice shield in returners, which is pretty solid. Anytime you can get an elemental shield, it's pretty nice. It might come into play given the magic settings too.
Absolutely, you know, Espers will not be teaching any magic, but elemental shields, there's no flag that's available to turn off that ability, so there will be tier 2 elemental magics available. Looks like Javinat0r never started his timer. Apologize, to any viewers looking for like his time. He's been racing it for the same amount of time as Kiel. Just that's anyway.
There's a bunch of nice to haves, but not critical so far. And there's another ice shield, and there's a red jacket as well. So we've got the fire immunity ready to go. It's just a matter of can we. Well, we're not going to find anything that does Merton anytime soon.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but the magic is on post-statue death, so obviously Espers will not be teaching Merton. Still, it's nice to have that kind of elemental defense. Obviously, tier 3 is among the many enemies that use Merton, and these enemies are set to tough, so they will... Like, these fights should be protracted. It will take a lot longer, a lot more damage to handle some of these fights, and that's worth keeping into consideration, especially when you have an abridged party like Setzer Umaro is essentially 1.5 characters.
Yeah, Umaro's pretty useful if you've got standard flags, just because, you know, Umaro picking somebody up and throwing them will get you through a trash mob pretty quickly, but when it comes to a boss with a heap of HP, you're more worried about counterattacks than you are of just let me score a decent hit on this.
Yeah, oftentimes that's the case. You know, if you're trying to do any kind of defensive strategy, Umaro will just screw it up. And he doesn't usually contribute too much to the offensive strategy when it comes to a lot of these bosses. You know, though sometimes he's your only source of defense piercing attacks. There have been times when you're fighting a Tritalk and you're just like, well, Umaro, take care of it. So while the last two races, no free progression was on, it's not on in this one. So Javinat0r going to Zen, taking a look and figuring out what's there. His timer is off by, you know, about 5 minutes. He got it started too late, but, you know, he's got it going now. So there was a Esper in Zen, but it was 64,000. He probably can't afford it right now, and even if he could, he'd likely be looking elsewhere.
Hey, look,
Super
your
balls
favorites.
for sale in Zen. Super balls for sale in Zen. I think that's very important. We'll see how important he thinks they are. For 11,000, that's definitely not going to be cheap in an austere start, but it looks like he's selling enough to get a few of them. Also, against tough enemies, it's going to take a lot more Super Balls to get things going. I would sell that gem box. You're not going to be casting too much magic. I don't know what he's preserving it for.
Yeah, I'm surprised he sold the ribbon as well, but I mean,
I think he sold one of the two ribbons.
Yeah, pretty common to get rid of. Umaro is the only Illumina wielder. Alright, cool. Yeah, there's
that. So one of the cool things about Rage Ring, I recently learned Umaro, when he throws a character, it uses not only Umaro's battle power, but the battle power of the character that he throws. So if you like the ideal throw of Umaro would be like somebody who's got a Genji glove and two Illuminas, and you're throwing that 510 battle power at someone.
Yeah, it seems like that would hurt. Did we see? I saw a Thunder Shield get picked up, so that's
yeah, that was in Thamasa. There's a Thunder Shield. Javinat0r looks like he's confused by something. Perhaps right later. He has expressed today that one of the biggest difficulties for him was figuring out how much to shop. So definitely concerns that Javinat0r had. That's one of the reasons he was guaranteed to veto city shops. He didn't want he didn't want checking shops to be the maker. A dragon horn per se that is not useful yet, but yields that are available in Albrook, or I'm sorry, Thunder Rods.
Yeah, we found the Dragoon Boots earlier in, I think, South Figaro, so we should be able to put together someone that jumps, if everything shakes out okay, but for now, probably not the strategy you want to go for.
Yeah. Very key difference between Kielbasiago and Javinat0r right now is Kielbasiago has a lot more money right now when he's finding these things because he didn't make that commitment to Super Balls. So we're gonna see Javinat0r spent a fair amount of money, poured a fair amount of resources into those. We find ice rods and a pearl lance available in Thamasa. That's pretty good. But yeah, we'll see exactly what dividends all Super Balls pay because he paid sort of a high price to get them. Snow Muffler available as well. This is a seed where you want a lot of money.
Yeah, I think the early investment in the Super Balls is fine. At this point, you're just basically trading money for time. The question is, could you have used that for more time later? And who knows? Super Balls, I have usually never felt that, the first time I've used them, they've always been helpful. And then after that, it's like, maybe a waste. But three should get the job done.
Absolutely. I'm obviously been an outspoken fan of the Super Balls as a strategy, but they aren't always. They aren't always the best way of handling a scenario. But they're what they lack in reliability. They, in my mind, make up for in just sheer power. They're one of the few attacks that isn't tied to your level. Excellent. So,
Gembox Economizer. You can cast all of the Ice 2s you want. No problem.
Economizer actually does have a potential use in post-scarcity just because the cost of summoning Espers is so high in magic points that any early summoning of Espers is generally impossible. So if they were to find something like Bahamut, it's possible that a Bahamut combined with Economizer would be interesting. Well, I do also want to say I found it interesting that Kielbasiago, perhaps out of habit, purchased 4 sets of earrings. I don't know how much use that relic's gonna see in a seed with no magic. It looks like Javinat0r is fighting Lobo, and I'm not sure why. Oh, he's dispelling the curse on the shield. Okay, that makes sense. I was trying to figure. I was like, he doesn't have Gao. Like, he's not gonna. I saw him purchase the dried meat, but obviously you need Gao for that to work. But
I kind of think though it would be more useful to check and see if we've got any sort of enemy that you can do something tangibly to while you're doing that, instead of just burning 4 encounters on the belt. I mean, who knows? This might actually pay off in the long run, but
yeah, it's hard to say. I think it makes sense because he's at a point where he's like, okay, I've got some rods, I've got some super balls, I'm decent in terms of offense, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to survive any of these tough bosses. So he chooses to immediately grab like the most potent defense that he's capable of putting on Setzer.
Okay, you gonna be able to pull this off, buddy?
We'll see. At level 3, it's not easy to handle it. Although, I guess he bought a snow muffler. Or we'll see how this goes. Gigantos, yeah, does a lot of damage, and like he is weak to magic, but you know, when you don't have much in loyal levels, even like at level 3, the even the rods with their defense piercing attacks aren't going to do much damage.
This is going to take forever. I don't know about this.
Yeah, especially yeah, I would be running away or resetting out, especially considering, you know, like how useful is that XP going to be on Umaro?
Yeah, you pop the rod too. Yeah, there's the reset. So
yeah,
I don't think that was going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, that's what I mean though. If you had some super balls,
and
that would have been good.
Finding Cyan in the tomb, if he can get through this Senior Behemoth, he's going to be in good shape. So let's see if those super balls pay out. He's got 6 super balls. But again, bosses are on tough, so they do have a high amount of HP. We'll see how well this goes.
Is that going to proc a response here?
Yeah, that might pull a medium.
Yeah, this is that's not what you want to have happen.
Okay, Umaro, maybe don't use the Illumina for this fight. Is he? I think resetting that was correct. I think you can handle this fight, but probably not with the Illumina there. Best case scenario is going to be to unequip that as he's about to do.
He put the pro on
Good attention to detail there, not just switching to the pearl. Yeah, with Paladin Shield, that Meteo spell was just about the only thing that was gonna easily hurt Setzer, so I think this might not be the fastest fight, but Pearl Rods, or rather the Super Balls should do it. I'm gonna expect the Senior Behemoth to have something like 8 to 12k HP total here.
Yeah, meanwhile, Keel's making some pretty good progress against these frogs, and if Setzer lives, that would be nice. That's cool. Right.
Very slow fight, and the problem with having Umaro be the dude with the snow muffler is Setzer's not going to be able to survive very easily. Wow, choosing to break the ice shield. and he's not going to be rewarded. That was only 800 damage. But he still does have 3 super balls. Yeah, he's going to be able to get through this. Unless he's incredibly unlucky. I shouldn't try to cast or curse him, but it looks like Javinat0r is likely to get through here, and with Cyan being the reward, that should go pretty well. You can also use the Pearl Rod on the second iteration of this boss, although, like, after seeing what the Ice Shield does, is it really worth? Hypno Gas.
Okay, well, we're just gonna sit here for a little while longer.
Yeah, with the tough enemies, definitely it's hard to get a foothold on the seed. Once you're going, but
Oh, 5 hits. Oh, is that 4? 4 hits. All right, you get one more shot.
Is he gonna? He's gonna use a potion. He's not taking too many risks here. He should take a fair amount of levels from this fight. Experience is set to finesse, which means it's divided by your total party members. So the fact that if he gets through this, he's going to have just Setzer alive should slingshot his XP fairly far forward. Oh, God, yeah. That's so frustrating.
That's, I mean, that's why I kind of concerns with that. Tough enemies are not trivial at all.
Well, the sleep is particularly annoying because he's got a ribbon and just chose not to have it equipped. Which he's going to change right now, I think. Your ring might be useful as well. Yeah, he's definitely got the equipment to get through this fight, but it feels pretty bad to fail a boss fight twice. Yeah. On the positive side, once he gets through this, he's probably going to have similar levels to what Kielbasiago has managed here. Although the ice rods are starting to do damage here, this is potentially going to get faster before it gets slower here.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the plan for Kiel, is just let's get the double earrings to make these actually super powerful and then go from there.
I definitely executing on that plan. Whereas Javinat0r had the plan I usually would go with the Meteo. Javinat0r just has not been lucky. This boss fight was incredibly doable, and he's just run into trouble. First with the Meteo proc, then with he's gonna take a fight. That makes sense. Though if you're doing that, I would check the box. You could find PM stalkers there and have your problems already dealt with. Yes, tough enemies is not... It's not a flag that a lot of players practice on. And for that reason, it's easy to run into trouble. So here we go, 20 minutes in. So far, nobody's found any checks or done.
I mean, other than the free one for Setzer, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and that one didn't have an Esper in it, so... Did it?
It had a Ramu.
Oh, it had an Esper?
Yeah.
I've been missing this the whole time? That's fine.
Yeah, no worries. It's not like Ramu's gonna do anything.
That is true. Well, if you have the economizer, you can cast it.
Yeah. Once.
A lot of good it'll do. Okay, so now Kielbasiago returning to this Gigantos, he should be able to make short work of it now. Using that Ice Rod.
Yeah,
Javinat0r is taking a couple levels from that fight. He's gonna go get Cyan. He's chosen the right check. I mean, he could theoretically have gone to Mount Zozo for free. Something that I might have considered earlier. Also, like, their bosses that are available. The bosses are scaled, right? Or the dragons that are available. But this wasn't a terrible idea. It just hasn't gone his way.
I think the terrible idea was trying to do this at level 3, because even though you've got Super Balls, all it takes is just one bad... Hi. I guess all it takes is just one bad pattern from the boss, and you just totally get destroyed.
That can be true, but going in with the Paladin Shield, you gotta feel like you're gonna handle most things. That nevertheless, either way, he ran into something he couldn't handle, and so now trying to readjust. Unfortunately, the Super Balls were not hitting very high. So we're gonna see if this second, he's only got one Super Ball left for this fight. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, Kielbasiago definitely, he's got the levels to handle most things now.
Oh, yeah, but this guy, I don't know. Especially since Atma eats, Pearl.
Yeah, he's just gonna reset out.
Exactly.
Gonna use the Fire Rod. Trying to do this last bit of damage. I think Senior Behemoth here has something like 2,000 HP left, but yes, he's gonna go ahead and break the shield, try to get that last bit of damage out. Yep, there it is. Okay, so Behemoth Suit is a good piece of equipment, and he's got Cyan, who knows control. That's not going to be particularly useful, but he's through the check. We've got 3 members. So, technically taking an early lead, but we'll see. He's level 16 to, we'll see what levels Kielbasiago's got right now. Let me ask you this, Edge, knowing that Umaro, knowing that you're getting less experience with 3 characters alive, do you toss Umaro or kill him? It looks like Jad's grabbing another Super Ball. He's definitely got some plans here. With Cyan able to use Illumina, and that's going to be way better than relying on the Yeti.
Hi, I just fed my cat. What'd Cyan have?
Alright, Cyan has control, but he also has the ability to equip the Illumina sword.
Is the vigor pretty good on Cyan?
They did not randomize the stats, so it's vanilla vigor. So
okay. So yeah, all right, sweet.
He's gonna find these reach frogs. Looks like he's gonna take this fight.
Reach frogs are a great fight for experience. I mean, that's why you see them, saw them so much in the glitchless speedrun.
Oh yeah, that's how they get Celis up to a high level. But they're a good fight if you can take them out quickly. If you can't, then once they start jumping and everything, it just becomes a real slog. So we're gonna see. Maybe this fire dance will do. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know if I would agree with continuing the fight once they start jumping. Maybe a sunk cost here, he might continue. Meanwhile, the chest that he didn't check was a presenter, so Jav was right not to grab that. Looks like Kielbasiago is still trying to take levels here. But the pug fight, that's not the one to do it.
You can get a Minerva, right?
You can get a Minerva from the 3 pugs. But not from the 1 pug. So yeah, this flag or this seat, it looks like it's taking an extra about 30 minutes to get off the ground. But what's usually the case is once you're off the ground in these seats, you can continue and it becomes business as usual. You haven't killed your first reach frog yet. Like, stop.
I think it's doable, but Javinat0r's just being a little too stingy with the consumables here.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, using I don't think he had enough money to purchase an ice rod, though. I think he just had this single fire rod. So
Well,
if he had an ice rod, he might use it, but I don't think he's going to use a super ball here.
Holy undead. Jesus.
Yeah, these guys, you know, if you have Revivifies, you could have this handled. But, yeah, so Setzer has a ribbon as well, so he's not going to be susceptible to any of these zombie attacks. I feel like I might take that fight. But I'll be interested to get a look at what levels Kielbasiago has, because like he's definitely ahead of Javinat0r's levels, but probably not significantly. You know, if you consider Javinat0r as being able to do checks, you know, he could be taking a huge lead here. But these are it looks like tough enemies is something that neither of these players is particularly strong with or familiar with, so we'll see how it goes. Probable that he should have equipped the Ramu Esper to Cyan, so he'd start MP critting. Because without any spells or any ostensible use of MP, you just don't have any. So Cyan is doing he's doing just the regular damage from the shield. It's not critting, or from the Illuminous Orb. It's not critting. And Javinat0r gets through the Reach Frog fight in about the same amount of time it would take to get through a boss fight, but he did get 67,000 gold from that, which might come in handy. And he's gonna take another fight. I've got my fingers crossed it's gonna be a faster fight. We'll see what Fire Dance does. Meanwhile, also it's going to be interesting to see, like, Kiel took the time to unlock the Paladin shield before taking this fight, but without Super Balls, this is just going to be Aura Bolts to get through here. Definitely going to be a slower fight, and, you know, when it's slower, you have greater risk of taking damage from some crazy thing that Senior Behemoth does. That said, he's got a much higher HP total here, so he's unlikely to run into anything that really hurts him. It's going to be an easy fight, but slow. Which, easy fight but slow is the same that would describe what's going on with Javinat0r right now. He's looking at potentially casting Ramu on these dudes. That might be better.
Nope, there's the Pearl proc. We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, and there goes that. I don't expect Umaro to be able to finish this out. But yeah, that's time lost on Kielbasiago's end. Both players definitely having trouble with this particular flag set. Looks like Kiel, he just flashed his levels for a second, but it looked like he was at level 20, which means all the time that he spent leveling up, he's about at the same level as Javinat0r. So Javinat0r definitely has a lead in terms of what he's accomplished, though the equipment on Kielbasiago's side is also going to be stronger. But yeah, it's puzzling to me that both players opting immediately for Daryl's tomb when there's Mount Zozo on the table. I mean, for all you know, Mount Zozo could have Terra sitting there.
I mean, especially when you can Y remove it.
Exactly. You know, there's no need to immediately grab Cyan. Also, if that doesn't work out, there's still the Figaro Castle check, which you're gonna have to do that dragon anyway. So. But yeah, Javinat0r gets through the second fight. He's also at level 20. I asked before, but you weren't around. If you were in Javinat0r's shoes, would you kill Umaro off so you getting more XP?
If I was in Javinat0r's shoes, I wouldn't have let tough enemies go through. But
he picked him. He didn't even let him go through.
Exactly. So the thing with tough enemies is you just basically have to you really have to build your victory condition out first, and I think there's a lot of time so normally chiseling through your first boss is a pretty good strategy. It just doesn't work with tough enemies because it doesn't get easier from here.
Javinat0r, I'm not sure what he's looking for. He forgot where something was. Oh, he's going for the Dragoon Boots. So he's looking for the Pearl Lance that was chilling in Thamasa, I believe. And the Dragon Horn, which was chilling in Albrook. But yeah, he definitely seems to have lost track of where everything is. Oh, and he's going to take that money and possibly buy the... You already have Dragoon Boots, man. He's going to possibly buy the Esper while he's here. Nope. Yeah, one of the problems with taking a lot of chests, or a lot of towns early and then not writing things down is sometimes it slips your mind where something was. I generally don't believe in writing stuff down or using a tracker, so I will often forget where things were. But yeah, that's sort of the cost of doing business. Javinat0r looks like also didn't write things down, but he does find where he found the Dragon Horn, and now let's see if he can remember where the Pearl Rod was. Or rather, the Pearl Lance.
The problem is you need to figure out efficient ways to get to write things down without losing time. And however you weave that into your route is important. So maybe it's, I'm going to check 4 towns, and then I'm going to do my level up grind, and so during the fight I can write down what I found in those 4 towns rather than checking 8 up front and not knowing where to go, where anything is.
That makes a lot of sense. He does remember where the Pearl Lance was. Not sure who was able to equip it. But I mean, even if nobody was able to equip it, he does have a build prepared for when he inevitably finds a character that can use it. Meanwhile, looks like going back to Zen. Is he going to purchase that Esper? I feel like I would be at least checking. No, he's going for the Super Balls. I mean, I can't argue with Super Balls. I love seeing them used. Definitely at level 20, they're going to be less important. I feel like I wouldn't have spent that much money on them. I might have instead gone for like a snow muffler, but I mean, you never know. It's just a free, easy source of damage.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is the rods are dependent entirely, like on your magic stat, but the super balls are not. So for your first boss, I would rather have a ton of those. For Magimaster, I would also rather have a ton of those.
Yeah, but once you hit level 20, any rods that you use are gonna do real damage, and then they just become a much more affordable way of doing it. And they're also really great in the hands of this murder child. Realm knows Steel, so she's essentially going to be a rod breaker or a useless character. And in finesse experience, they start at 3 XP. Or at level 3, or at their base levels, so potentially Realm just going to be a drag on your XP.
Well,
I certainly would consider booting her, or booting Mara.
So the Espers still give stats, right?
Yeah, the Espers have a 50% chance procure a stat.
I mean, if you could just dump magic power on the Realm the entire game, I would not mind having a Rod Breaker with like 90 base magic power by the end of the game.
That is fair. It's just, you have to be prepared to make that monetary investment, and I mean, so far you spent most of his money on Super Balls. This is not a good fight for Super Balls, but needs some way of doing damage. It looks like the investment into Setzer's jumping those is definitely going to make a lot of sense. He was already doing 1,500 damage.
Now, what would be interesting is if we find, if Kiel knows which of the elements these tentacles are weak against, because it's just a pain to remember. I mean, a lot of the top tier runners do.
Yeah, the top tier runners do. I know enough to get by. I know that after you kill the bottom left one, which is weak to like Doom attacks, then the best is to use Ice on all of them. Because the one that is hurt by Doom is the one that absorbs Ice.
Which is funny, because Doom also absorbs Ice.
Yeah. I mean, I try to remember which enemies are susceptible to instant death because I'm lazy, and that's always a good way to do it. Incidentally, we do have a high five in these fights here. I think it's fair to call Javinat0r officially ahead. Actually, I guess they're both at 4 members now for this fight. So Javinat0r definitely came in here faster, but we'll see. He's going to be immune to the bio attacks on Cyan, but he won't be immune to the slow and the C's. So this potentially could be a wipe for Javinat0r here. Yep, and he's going to reset out.
Yeah, Javinat0r has had some, long time investment deaths here, and that is, again, that's the thing with tough experience, though, is you're gonna take a while to fight these bosses. So once you commit to fighting one, you have to be able to finish it.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where I guarantee both racers feel like they're behind. Kielbasiago, definitely, he had the sort of methodical approach with taking that XP, but it took so long. And Javinat0r, meanwhile, I mean, he knows that he's taken some costly wipes. He doesn't know that Kielbasiago spent like a year fighting those reach frogs. So both players probably expecting, the other player, like neither of them has to think, oh, my opponent's definitely still on his second check. Javinat0r goes to purchase the Rust Rid, then remembers that he's got Y remove. So possibly kicking himself at not doing this check earlier. It's always interesting to see races like this where both runners have sort of stumbled, because you wind up seeing both runners typically take a lot of risks that they wouldn't normally because they feel like they're behind.
It could even be just not even risks, but just feeling uncomfortable with the flag set.
Absolutely. Javinat0r, going into this, he promised to choose something that would be a trash fire, and he sort of delivered on his promise in choosing tough enemies. I typically go rough, which makes the enemies more of a threat to you, but they're more glass cannon. But tough enemies, they just take a long time to kill, which means any kind of wipe can be costly. I mean, look at Kielbasiago here. He's still fighting these tentacles.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Javinat0r finds the red dragon, and this is gonna take a while too.
Well, possibly. He does have super balls, but he's choosing not to use them, instead electing to oh no, there he is. Yeah, he was electing to use the Illumina sword as well as jumping, but yeah, the super ball is definitely going to handle this quicker. Probably even quicker than that jump will.
It's a pretty good roll, though.
Okay, so Kielbasiago has killed 2 of the tentacles that, I mean, it feels like he's getting started on this fight. It's just so hard to make progress. This is a really, really, really slow fight. They use slow attacks, and they heal themselves while holding you hostage. It becomes just a slog when you can't kill them immediately.
Well, I guess the other thing too is we found Marvel shoes fairly early, and those got sold off. I feel like early game, especially when you need sustain, starting with Safe Shell Haste is a pretty good deal in my book.
Man, Javinat0r having to reset out because he's got, like, with the Paladin Shield, the only thing that you fear coming from that dragon is Flare. So of course he flares his Paladin Shield user. He's going to swap things around. He's going to try to give Setzer some elemental resistance as well. Meanwhile, Kielbasiago slowly but surely is going to get through this. I do wonder, why take the fight again before checking what the check has? I feel like if Javinat0r finds a character in this Mount Zozo check that would have been useful, he's going to be sort of kicking himself. But, like you said, just uncomfortableness with the flag set. A lot of the times people get a little tilted and their decisions just become a little bit off. Like, near perfect, but still, with enough to question about them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too with this flag set is the margin of error is just lower as well, so you can't really make a whole lot of mistakes. Not when it takes you 20 minutes to get through a boss.
Absolutely, you know, it's very, very difficult to get through this when you're like it's hard to get through this without wiping at one point, and you can't like any wipe just feels so bad. But yeah, Kielbasiago does finally get through. So he's got 4 characters now. And he's going to head immediately to Thamasa. I guess picking up a Pearl Rod. Or Pearl Lance, rather. Oh no, more ice rods. Yeah, that also makes sense. Meanwhile, Javinat0r gets through the dragon. He's the first person to kill a dragon on our in this race, and he picks up an offering, which, you know, depending on what he finds, may be incredibly useful.
Well, and we do have Genji Glove, and we did see Double Sniper being able to. You can equip that on Setzer, so that is an option right there. But I think you're more looking for fixed dice at this point.
And there's Celis. See, you gotta feel like you could have done that first.
Yeah. You totally could have. Feels bad.
And it's funny because both runners are aware that this check is available from the very beginning. So Javinat0r, he's 50 minutes into the seed almost. He sees Celis that's been available from the first moment. He's got to feel behind, even though like he's got no way of knowing that he's the first person to find her. What does she know? She knows health, which is not super useful, but it has an increased value in a situation where you've got post-statue death, so you're never going to have any cure spells. And it looks like he's decided that the Sasquatch has run its course. Although he has not equipped another Moogle Charm. Yeah, there's a fair amount of fiddling with equipment that's going to be necessary in these seeds just because the monsters are so difficult. But once you've figured out what you're doing, it's generally good to go. Okay, so looks like Javinat0r considering a 3-man party because Umaro's been equipped with the Moogle Charm and nothing else. So it seems like the strategy may very well be to just kill off Umaro and make use of the other character. Oh, we're fighting Reach Frogs again.
Yeah, just gotta get some more levels here.
Well, I did get Stelis doing something. I feel like at this point I would probably be spending the massive amount of money that he has on some espers. So if we're gonna get Celis these levels from base level, you know, if you find her a strength esper or a magic esper, that could be really useful, especially considering her magic power will be much stronger, or will be poured into her casting of health. You know, if that's just a Cure 2 spell, but if you have a high magic power and a high level, that still can add up to a fair amount of HP. But yeah, Kielbasiago going to join Javinat0r in making the trek up to Mount Zozo, and we'll see what he finds. It seems like both players are wary about adding to the progress, because they're aware that doing so will make the enemies tougher.
Well, I think the thing is, though, have they hit the cap already? Because you hit that pretty quick in this, right?
It's possible to. I don't think that they're near the cap yet, but I do think that they have enough levels to make this work, you know?
Yeah.
I think Javinat0r's going to try to time reviving Celis. Yep, here it is. He's going to try to revive Celis as Setzer lands. And maybe get her some XP that way. But I feel like if you're going for XP, man, the dragon...
Yeah, I think the dragons are a pretty good bet right about now, but I just have the feeling that Javinat0r is not ready to do this yet, especially after that bad experience.
Yeah, I didn't see Kielbasiago finish the fight with the dragon, the Opera House dragon, which turned out to be the vanilla dirt dragon. I assume you decided he's going to go back there later.
Yeah, okay, so any dragon is going to be tough sledding no matter what, but you just do not want to mess with the dirt dragon right now. That is just not a fun fight.
That is true. Dirt dragon, just opening with Quake on all 4 characters, it's a hassle. You know, who needs that, right?
It's a pain.
It is a pain. I did name the category efficiently, I think, or aptly. So, fair amount of XP and gold out of that fight, and now the question is, like, are you ready to finally go do stuff? Oh, he took the time to kill Umaro, and now he's Umaro's backstanding again.
Well, what can you do? I mean, Umaro's in the front row. He always get countered.
It's another Reach Frog fight. Oh no, it's not. But he's going for another Reach Frog fight.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, that's... Oh no! No, Umaro gets the experience too! Kiel queues up an ice rod on Umaro.
Oh. So Umaro's still sticking around.
Offering, oh, that's pretty good.
Probably, when he finds Celis here, he's going to boot Umaro from his party. So Kielbasiago does have 5 characters now. But again, almost an hour in at this point, when he finds this character that's immediately available. She's got some amazing checks in her free check in South Figaro, on top of her having the Magitech 1 and 2 are just really efficient checks to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiel menuing as quickly as possible. Just get me out of here. Oh man. Both racers sitting there thinking, "Oh, is my opponent in Kefka's tower yet?" Did Kiel lose? Did he not buy warp stones? Oh, this is gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt, but not as much as dying to the boss, which didn't happen, so... take what you can get.
Yeah, that is true. There are lots of ways to lose time with this flag set. This is... It's not the worst, but it does feel bad. You know, it's an unforced error kind of thing. Kiel definitely checked enough shops that if he had been looking for him or thinking about him, he should have found a warp stone, but... Gonna make his way out of Zozo now. Meanwhile, even this fight here, this Chitinoi, taking longer than it theoretically should, and this is not a fight I ever take for XP, because I'm always worried that Chitinoi is going to sneeze me out of the fight, and
100%.
it'll all be for naught.
Yeah, always does.
It happens every damn time. Oh, did you want XP? Well, not for this character.
Too bad.
So, Javinat0r gonna go check the South Figaro basement, see what's waiting for him there. Finally decided that he's got enough levels on Celis. He's got a 3-man party that he seems comfortable enough with. Oh, what are we grabbing here? Some ice shields. Not a bad call to have them. I don't know that that's what I would be going for in the... Dude, Celis, you've got Celis. What are you doing? Are you not gonna grab the check?
Nope.
You didn't turn no for progression on. That check is... Oh, man, that feels bad. Oh, did he remember? He remembered, okay. Definitely a sign of frustration and fatigue coming from Javinat0r. He did have an 8-hour stream before this race.
What?
Yeah, earlier today, he started running some PK scramble seeds. Oh, and it turns out to be a dead check.
Oh.
Yeah, earlier today he did a lot of PK scramble seeds in a row. So, yeah, towards the end of his stream, he was saying that he was feeling pretty ragged and there was pizza that he wanted to go eat. And he had a race in like an hour and a half. That's how he concluded his last stream.
It's not what you want to have happen, really.
Oh, he has to revive Umaro to put a Moogle charm on him. And he's gonna buy, I think, some more Super Balls. Yep. So, if you're in these runners' shoes, where do you go next?
I don't know. If I'm in Javinat0r's shoes, I'm probably going to get another slice of pizza, because this one's going to be a while. But, I mean, you've got Celeste check at this point.
Is he going for a dragon?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you're good on characters, you just need to find the espers now, so...
yeah, he doesn't have 5 characters yet, but he knows where Realm is. So, yeah. I mean... This is actually interesting, because he's got the dragon, which is going to be required. And he's got Tri-Talk, and then he's got Umaro's cave check.
I think this might be where I just see how much money I have and then try to either kill dragons to get it or just go straight to the auction house and see what we could find.
Oh, yeah, well, you know me. You know that, you know, if we're 20 minutes in, I've already either done the auction house or chosen to go there. You know, like, it's definitely a play I would have made already, but I can't argue with their concern about too much free, adding too much of the free checks too early and adding too much progression to these enemies.
Yeah, but at the same time too, if you're not adding progression, you're also not getting as much experience as you can. And if you feel like you can take enemies now, which you're an hour in, you probably should. Then yeah.
While that's usually true in these flag sets, the XP is actually divorced from the scaling of the monsters, and it's based on your own party level. So whether the enemies are strong or weak, they're actually going to be providing the same amount of XP. So, I mean, it is a valid concern. I just don't know how much time I'm willing to pour into it. Yeah, it's going to be real hard to keep Celis alive. It looks like he might just decide not to bother. He might try another Phoenix Down as yeah, he's going to try another Phoenix Down as Setzer lands. But I mean, this is tough enemies. I think the Blue Dragon probably still has another 10k HP or something.
we have the dream is pretty ambitious on Kiel's side, but I think now's the time you just gotta commit to something.
Absolutely.
3 checks here, so
yeah, there aren't a whole lot of great options, and when you feel behind, you know, it's time for bold plays. Which is one of the reasons I like watching Trash Fire Seeds, because both players feel like they're behind, and you get to see bold plays on both. So unfortunately, Celis isn't going to get the XP from this this blue dragon, but Jav does get to pick up his second dragon here. He gets a red cap, which is a useful bit of equipment. It's not the kind of thing that you hope for, but you know, I can take it, you know. Celis, unfortunately, still down at level 16. Just you know, gonna have a lot of difficulties staying useful. And that's a Magicite for Kielbasiago. Is that his second Magicite? Man. It's just...
let's see, we've got Raiden and we have Flame Eater on Javinat0r's side, so with all of the ice and everything, we're pretty good. Just don't let the bombs explode and you'll be fine.
Yeah, like, don't be using super balls when you got an ice shield here. This is a free attempt, or a free chance to get some HP onto Celis, but super balls are not going to get the job done. You've only got 4 of them left. This is...
I don't know, does anybody know Ice 2? That would probably work pretty good here too, but Javinat0r's not geared up for magic. Kiel is.
That is true, but I feel like even just regular assaults on these bombs, just killing them with physical attacks before you start using the super ball is going to make a big difference here. But he's gambling, you know, and so far he's been quite unlucky. Oh, you can use the Illumina Sword, man. Like, if it procs, it's going to do 0 damage. It's not going to absorb.
It might just be you don't want to waste the time. That Pearl animation is nobody's friend.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, looks like it's gonna be an Esper in the Cyan's Dream 2. So possibly a 3 Esper check. And that'll get Kielbasiago well on his way. It feels so bad to be at 2 Espers at 1 hour in. And Raiden is a Strength +2 Esper. Possibly should have checked that earlier, but that is definitely going to be useful. Cyan swinging that Illumina Sword, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Oh wow, that is an interesting approach. On Javinat0r's side, he's making use of Cyan's control ability on these bomblets and using their exploder ability on Flame Eater. This is not something I have seen before.
We are going deep into the well of strats today. Oh my!
It's not a common strat, obviously, but it's potentially quite effective.
I think when you're going up against very difficult enemies, having having control in the tank is pretty darn useful. If only just to take one guy completely out of the fight until you're ready.
And with that, he's gonna take him down. That is an impressive way of handling it. And that is an Esper. It's a Palador.
Meanwhile, Kiel has drawn a very, very unpleasant assignment here.
Yeah, Poultrygeist would be a lot more difficult if you didn't have Ice Rods, but this is going to be his second attempt to get through this fight. It is, it's not going to be easy.
This is still going to be a difficult fight, though.
Both players sitting there going, tough bosses, why? Yeah, Flame Eater, of course, has a deceptively high amount of HP. You don't normally notice because you can do so much damage, but when you don't have an easy one, and when the XP or the HP is increased on tough enemies, it really sticks out. And obviously, Poultrygeist, you know, not only does he have a lot of HP, it's very resistant to physical attacks. So it becomes a difficult thing to get through. Another Esper for Javinat0r. Finds Phantom, which is... It's not proper calmness protection, but he does make use of it in on Tier 1, and occasionally I've seen him use it on Tier 3. He is one of the players who's capable of counting the damage and make it work. So,
yeah, it also can be useful depending on who you run into as well. Like if you had that for the Gigantos fight, boy, that would have been a lot easier.
Oh yeah, Javinat0r never even took the Gigantos fight. He's avoided all the monsters in boxes, and probably felt vindicated after finding that offering. So even if he does find something he'd like to use, like an Atma weapon or a Valiant knife, he's got everything he needs for it. Good use of that Mirage Vest on Celis. Try to keep her a little bit up for a little bit longer. You know, once you hit the point where you've got like 1200 HP, you're usually going to be able to survive. You know, it's just getting to that point on these XP settings that can be difficult. Oh man, Poultrygeist just not being kind here, and Kielbasiago really struggling.
I mean, you're really looking for that, for those ice rods to do a whole lot more than what's happening right now.
Does Realm have Marvel shoes on? Because if she does, then he had access to them for the tentacle fight.
I'm pretty sure both runners sold them, but I'm not 100%.
Man, this fight definitely rough going for Kielbasiago. He's got that paladin shield, you know, so it's definitely not over yet. But he's one shrapnel away from having to reset here. Meanwhile, number 24 doesn't usually pull out wall change, but you know, if you get late enough in the fight with him, he'll start doing it. And yeah, that's what happens when you've got tough enemies. Javinat0r does get through the fight. That's probably going to be enough XP to get Celis going as well. Yep, so definitely a much more open seed for him now than it was. Did he run out of warp stones? He also ran out of warp stones.
You're supposed to start with 5, right?
The settings they chose were an austere start, which means you start with 0 items and 0 gold, and only 2 party members that are both naked, which is why they didn't have an immediate snow muffler on Umaro or any of that. So I mean, that was also Javinat0r's choice. He's chosen some fairly difficult flags and just sort of betting on the idea that he's going to be able to handle them better than Kielbasiago would. Probably doesn't feel like that bet's paying off right now, but he's actually doing pretty well. If Kielbasiago continues to struggle with Poltergeist for much longer, Javinat0r, like, right now, could be argued to be ahead, and could definitely solidify that in the next few minutes here. Especially depending on what's sitting on the throne room in Doma Castle. So Javinat0r looks like he's ready to look at the auction house. He's got a fair amount of money. Well, actually, does he? No, he needs a fair amount of money in order to make that work. Oh, he's looking for warp stones. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, but smoke bombs are going to be good enough, and now he's going to go ahead and do Opera House. Now, this is not a common check.
This is such a long fight. Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, Orbital is a significant amount of damage. I just worry that like at any point shrapnel could come out and send Kielbasiago back. This is just like he's just got his fingers crossed this whole time, hoping, you know, it's not going to happen to him. Yeah, arrow and all of these fire attacks, they're going to be completely nullified by the paladin shield. The only thing that he's got to worry about is whether shrapnel's going to come out. And at this point, like, he's got no idea probably how much HP is left on Poltergeist. He's just sitting there hoping every single Orbital will be the last one. He's waiting for there's the flash! He's got through!
Yeah! We did it!
Oh, man. And all that solo experience going on with Setzer. Plus, he's got the Aura Lance, which may or may not be better. We'll have to see. He gets his third Magicite.
It's certainly less annoying when it comes to, like, accidentally healing enemies.
Oh, yeah. So it looks like Fire Dance is going to make short work of these. And that was a Ragnarok sword and not a Ragnarok Esper. So useful, but not the thing that Kielbasiago was hoping for. Another dead check, so he's sitting there at 3, 5, and 1. Javinat0r at 3, 4, and 2. Definitely anybody's race right now. Yeah, I feel like you'd want to give the Illumina sword to Celis. Just because she can't do anything with health, but we'll see. It looks like Realm's going to be the one who's jumping. That makes sense. She can equip the Aura Lance.
Well, Kiel found a Ragnarok, so that's pretty solid.
Yeah, the Ragnarok sword was on the Doma Castle throne, so he would have preferred an Esper. But if it's going to be a dead check, let it be a Ragnarok over like a Cat Hood. But yeah, they both have Genji Glove available, so I feel like that would have been an option for one of his party members. But we'll see here what's the boss waiting for us at the end of Opera House. We've already seen Atma, so like just got our fingers crossed, hoping we don't see. Yeah, I was gonna say, hoping we don't see Mage Master.
Yeah, seriously.
He's got a couple of Super Balls left, I believe, but that would still be quite. I mean, I would expect him to wind up resetting out rather than taking that fight. Okay, and here at Esper Mountain on Kielbasiago's end, we're seeing it's not a character, so he's hoping for an Esper, though both players have seen their fair share of dead checks as well. Atma weapon. Atma weapon, not usually a difficult boss, but can be difficult if you can't kill them very quickly. And you can't kill anything very quickly right now, so this may actually be a problem for Kielbasiago, depending on how long the fight lasts.
Hopefully not as long as Poltergeist.
Well, you can see the effects of that Poltergeist fight. You see Setzer has 2,900 HP, and everybody else is struggling to keep it over 1,000. At least this player, yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yep. Javinat0r sitting there saying, this fight is supposed to last like 30 seconds. Why? Why is Chupon not dead yet? And this Medio, a sign of what could be dangerous. Yeah, that's going to take out 2 party members. And Kielbasiago in the unfortunate spot yet again of trying to keep all of his party members alive long enough to gain enough XP to be useful. Okay, so it is not a character here in Opera House. We'll see what it is. It is a Magicite. I had a feeling we were going to find a Thunder Shield or something, but I always fear that from Opera House. I lost a Coliseum race that way.
That feels bad.
Yeah. Javinat0r going to Miranda, so he's just looking for equipment at this point. He's checking the weapon shops. Well, I mean, I guess... I don't know, like, there's a lot that you could find that could be useful. The shops are on 40% random, so, like, you could at any point find an Illumina chilling in a shop, so... You know, he's got a fair amount of gold. I guess it makes sense, but... He's gonna check that before he goes into... just buy more Super Balls. And it looks like Kielbasiago... Oh no, he's gonna grab the, I was gonna say grab the Esper here, but is he? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You getting Super Balls?
We're getting Super Balls again. I don't know why I allowed him to fake me out. He was clearly going for Super Balls the whole time. He's trying to figure out a way. Like, he's got Setzer's at level 33. He's got Blitz. He's probably going to be a decent like a bum rusher fairly soon. So he's looking at, can I find somebody else who can do the Dragoon thing? And, being able to equip the spear is the problem here. You need another character. He knows where Realm is, but if he finds, Edgar or for all he knows, he could find Edgar chilling with Jump at any point. And that, he'd be able to use the gauntlet there. It'd be pretty awesome. I do feel like he's spending a lot of time in shops now, though. Potentially looking for warp stones or another dragon horn, maybe.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Kiel's gonna zip through 1 and 2 here of Magitech Factory. I kind of doubt we'll see 3, but who knows?
Oh yeah. Earrings were the answer for Javinat0r, but yes, you're right. The Magitech Factory, definitely a useful check. And available because of Y remove, it was available even without Celis. So this is usually a very fast way of grabbing 2 Espers. Of course, you never know, especially with no free progression off, and all these dead checks mixed in. This could very well be 2 dead checks. Both players spending a lot of time in menus trying to fiddle with their equipment. Although I have to say, I get it. If you have a suboptimal amount of equipment or a suboptimal configuration of your equipment and it winds up costing you a lot of time doing damage, that can be a problem. Got Vargas here. I feel like I would say I don't care about the XP. I'm just going to use Blitz and end the fight right away.
I mean, the thing is, normally I just want the experience from this fight. But this jerk has so much HP now, and it's so not worth it. Just get rid of him.
We'll see, he's doing a significant amount of damage at this point, so it's possible that it's worth it, but just use Pummel, man. So Cyan is able to use the Pearl Lance, so switching him to be the jumper makes sense. But wow, now that was an interesting call. You see, Javinat0r, knowing that he's got the Paladin shield on Cyan, was looking for a quick way of healing him, and chose to use Ice 2. That would have been interesting if it worked, but unfortunately, those bosses they're just too strong right now.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Vargas. So
yeah,
I mean,
about
90
seconds spent.
You can pummel him, but I mean, some Illuminous to the face always works pretty good too.
And let's see what he gets for it. A Valiant Knife. They have offering.
You should. It was dropped off the Red Dragon. That's huge, and you could have had that real early too. Wow. Can anyone equip it though? Is the question.
Oh man.
That would be worth going for. Well, look. Okay, so looks like somebody can equip it. Is it Cyan? Yeah, it's Cyan. All right.
I can equip it. That's so great.
Cool. So not only does Cyan get something to finally throw some weight behind, but you can Genji Glove the Ragnarok and the Illumina.
I think Kielbasiago skipped that chest that Javinat0r just checked. Javinat0r's also about to find that Valiant Knife, and he found a muscle belt in his chest. So yeah, both players have Valiant Knife offering available to them now. Definitely going to be interesting. Oh hey, and I just noted that's interesting too. I don't think that they found warp stones in the shops, so I think they're entering expecting to have to do Magitech 3, but there's a warp stone in that chest there.
That's certainly helpful.
Let's see if Kielbasiago makes use of it. Cyan not doing a whole lot of damage yet with that Valiant Knife. It's interesting is like both players have definitely spent a lot of time changing their equipment, and I feel like it's hard to say who's in the lead, but if there is a leader, I feel like the leader has changed several times while they were like fiddling with their menus. Which, I mean, again, it's hard to criticize when you know that like any amount of like equipment mismanagement is going to be magnified in long fights like these. You know, so it's not a criticism, but it definitely has occurred a lot. As Kielbasiago just goes straight from Magitech 3. I believe you got an Esper there, yeah?
Well, I don't know. It went by so fast.
Yeah, I mean, to his credit, he moved very quickly. You know, it's not his fault.
What you got? We got Cyan on a little bit of a timer here. Come on, Jeff. Come on.
Just use Pummel.
0-0. God no.
These mandrakes, an annoying fight. You know, you've got. You can take him out fairly quickly. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be interesting what's in Magitech 3. If it's a character, especially a character with like few checks, like a Mog, that's going to definitely benefit Javinat0r over Kielbasiago, because Javinat0r can still use that character. Finds the Valiant Knife. Immediately he's going to check to see who can equip it. Cyan and Umaro, so Cyan's no longer a Dragoon. Offering Muscle Belt. Yeah, that looks like it'll work. And Behemoths on the side of Kielbasiago. It's not a necessary fight. Like, you know, you can just run from these. Behemoths typically, like, this isn't going to be a threat to him. Although, as I say that, it eliminates Celis.
The experience is so tasty, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tasty for the characters who can survive the fight to receive it. I don't know. You're at level 30 and you only have 5 Espers so far. Do you really think that you're not going to have the levels when you get to Kefka's Tower?
I mean, you may just be at this point thinking, I am so far behind that my only hope is that Kefka's Tower is awful.
That is true. And they have, neither of them have seen Magi Master yet, and a Magi Master on tough in Kefka's Tower would be it would be bonkers. It could potentially add half an hour to a scene. Cyan on Javinator's side, just with a little bit in terms of extra levels, and also the muscle belt that I don't think Kielbasiago picked up. He's doing a lot more damage, as it's Inferno at the end here. Oh, it was a red cap, so Kielbasiago actually didn't even get an Esper. This was a really lame check. 2 dead checks, and then at Magitech 3, which is guaranteed not to be dead, but...
Well, I mean, if you miss the muscle belt, it's pretty good to get the red cap.
That is true. And honestly, I feel like red cap Atlas Armlet is going to be better than muscle belt. Just because I don't love Reliance so much on the HP, but that's sort of it's splitting hairs kind of thing.
Plus, you get to look like Mario.
And this Inferno fight, it's very possible that Javinat0r will start the Inferno fight before Kielbasiago finishes it, and that's one fewer monster fight that you can find in Kefka's Tower, but it's dangerous. Oh, wow. Okay, the shrapnel fortunately misses Celis and didn't do a whole lot of damage because you've got Cyan. He was stopped there. If that shrapnel had killed both party members, you'd have just Setzer alive again. Definitely a dangerous fight. We're gonna see how this goes. Kielbasiago should be approaching the end of it, but Cyan's just not doing any damage with that Valiant Knife. But the Setzer as a Dragoon is going to finish that off. Kielbasiago getting through this check just as Javinat0r's approaching it. Javinat0r going to smoke bomb through these behemoths. There's no interest in like that juicy XP.
I mean, this is definitely picking up time on Kiel for sure. And yeah, we had not even spent that much time sitting in the menus here, checking out what you can get off of the Espers. Not at all.
Well, I mean, Raiden gives you strength +2. That's all you really need to know. You've got, like, I was gonna say you got 3 characters doing strength-based attacks, but that's not so surprising when you've got no magic. You know, and without really strong abilities, yeah, it's gonna be 1 Dragoon. Oh, look, Edgar. I wonder what he does. He uses Runic. He's not likely to be useful. But that's going to be a 5th character for Javinat0r, and not a 5th. It's a 6th character for Kielbasiago. That is absolutely the worst thing that could possibly happen to Kiel here, because this check was 2 dead checks, and then a character that not only is he not going to be useful because he's a 6th character, but also 2 of his 3 checks were accessible through Y remove anyway. So really the only progression that he's found here is the Figaro Throne Room, which he may very well check, but it's certainly not going to feel like it was worth the time.
Yeah, look at how much damage this is just doing to Inferno.
Yeah, Cyan just doing like almost 4k per swing there. It's, unfortunately, not got a whole lot of HP. Like, when you play the Valiant Knife like that, you play it on the knife's edge. Never lucky, Cyan's not going to get any XP from this fight, but like I said, they're likely to have enough XP to begin with, and you see on Cyan on Kielbasiago's side, you know, he's doing 900 per swing. It's just not comparable.
Yeah, it's one of those times where it's just like maybe you take the red cap off and put it back on before you get into the fight, because that helps a whole lot.
So I'm curious to see whether Javinat0r is going to try to incorporate Edgar into his party. Seems like not. He's going with just a 3-man. Whereas, like, if he chose to go with 4-man, Edgar could be a Dragoon. He's got the Pearl Lance and all the equipment to do it for him. And then Cells can, of course, be just swinging with the Genji glove. But it looks like he's content to have Setzer be the Dragoon here. So yeah, meanwhile, it looks like Kielbasiago going to go up, take care of the dragon and the Tri-Talk Umaro checks that Javinat0r's already done. So their checks that they've covered are starting to overlap here. The main difference being that Kielbasiago has done, like he got through that Doma Castle fight with Realm and has done Esper Mountain.
Yeah, Cyan definitely needs some HP on Kiel's side for sure. But I mean, Celeste is doing crazy work too, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cyan also had the Raiden Esper equipped for a while, so he's got a fair amount of vigor, and you can get the Valiant Knife going with just strength. It's slower, but it's also safer, because you don't have to worry about losing damage by accidentally healing, or just having the character outright die because they have to stay at low HP. Anyway, Javinat0r, having that done, is going to immediately take a long walk to South Figaro. He hasn't grabbed this stuff yet. A red cap is immediately a useful thing, so... And a snow muffler. That would never have been useful.
Yeah, just one more for the road. Oh, I see what Kiel's gonna do. If at first you don't succeed with HP, let's just do it with experience points instead.
Oh, did he put an experience egg on him?
Yep.
Oh, that'll work. God, it feels good to destroy that Magitech armor in the way. So I'm expecting this fight to go a little more smoothly with the ice rods than it did for Javinat0r. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, Jav gonna go in here and see what the Edgar checks have to offer. He's gonna be able to do all three at once. I think that's the way he's gonna try to wrap this. Probably gonna Y remove his way out as well.
That makes sense. Once you're done, you never need to see that castle again.
Exactly. The only exception, like, I always feel bad if they sell Super Balls at a discount, because that can be so powerful. Again, only early. I don't think if you're purchasing Super Balls at an hour 40 into the seed, you maybe want to rethink your priorities a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the consumables are nice, but it's like the ice rods are going to do so much more work at this point than the Super Balls are.
But Kielbasiago definitely has taken the lead at this point. He's got the additional dragon, and he's ahead in Espers. Potentially ready to run away with this lead. Although, yeah, it's going to depend. Like Javinat0r, obviously, if he goes through, Cyan's Dream will likely be able to pick up those 3 espers very quickly, and will hopefully be able to get through Poltergeist a little faster. But you never know, right?
Alright, we have found Goddess.
So we found most of the difficult bosses that aren't Magi Master. So it's just that one terror that lurks out there still. But
have we found Doomgaze or Guardian yet? Because either one of those could ruin your day with the wrong party count.
Oh, absolutely, and of course, Guardian especially, well, actually, and Doomgaze, they both have such high HP normally, so it'll be very interesting to see.
It's just that they're defensive walls, so if you're going all physical, like normally that's great, and then you send your double Ragnarok character through, and that's who they find, and you just feel awful.
So, fortunately for Javinat0r, the offering attack goes through Love Token. We'll see if he remembers this. I don't know why he's using health. Oh, I guess Quasar. That's. Thank you, Goddess, for answering that question for me. I was gonna say, why does he want more HP on Cyan? But I guess, you know, Quasar phase.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, yeah, gonna get the Excalibur here. That's not gonna be particularly useful at this stage of the game, but he does get a Magicite, so. Yeah, it looks like Kielbasiago going straight to the same check afterwards, and oh, did he forget to save? What's going on? Nope, he's changed his mind. We're doing something else. Oh, does Setzer have enough levels for Bum Rush? I guess he does. He was level 43 last time I saw, so...
That's pretty good, too. Alright, so now we're starting to get people that can hold our own here. It's
Absolutely.
only hour 46 into the seed, and we're finally getting there.
Yeah, when you're an hour 46 into the seed and you're collecting Bum Rush, you're hoping that you're doing it right before you go into Kefka's Tower, not right before you take on the next 6 espers you need. And we find Gao, who has Shock. Would have been nice to see you earlier, Gao, but for now we're just gonna say goodbye. Those Warp Stones, though, will be useful. And Gao's check, he's got 2 fast-ish checks. You know, obviously the Velt check is fast when you have dried meat already. And what are you looking for? Oh, Genji helmets. Not terrible. But I don't predict that Javinat0r will buy this Genji helmet. He did say earlier today during his 8-hour stream that he would not ever buy a Genji helmet. Apparently, no matter how much gold he has. Yeah, so you've got a level 46 Setzer with Bum Rush and double earrings. I'm gonna expect that to do quad 9 damage. So, like, you should be able to collect dragons or other bosses or something here. Like,
yeah, this is just a matter of time to clean up things at this point. So, yeah, Realm's going to be cracking rods. We've got Ragnarok Illumina, Bum Rush, and Valiant Knife. It's a pretty good set of things to finish this out with.
And I don't think Realm is even cracking rods most of the time. She's jumping with the Aura Lance. So I mean, you've got abundance of equipment here.
From austere to abundant.
Yeah. So Kielbasiago finally ready to take on Atma weapon, or Atma rather, and we're gonna see how much this bum rush does. Yeah, almost the quad 9's damage. It'll be there. Meanwhile, Javinat0r going for the Skull Dragon.
You're never unhappy to see the Skull Dragon, but you are unhappy to have your extremely low health blast cannon die.
Yeah, I've never been able to play Knife's Edge like that, pardon the pun, when it comes to Valiant Knife. I'm just never comfortable. So it is an Esper for him. And it's Tritalk. Not going to be particularly useful. Tritalk does a lot of damage to anything that doesn't absorb one of the 3 elements, but most enemies either absorb or nullify one of the 3 main elements, so that becomes an issue. And Skull Dragon dropped an experience egg that I saw that Kielbasiago had one, but now Javinat0r has one as well, and it's going to lead to Locke. Not a great character to find here. This is sort of a whammy prize.
Yeah, I mean, Locke, normally you're pretty happy to find them, but when you have Y remove on, it's basically, why bother?
Yeah, it's possible that they're gonna... Actually, you know, Locke might be alright just because they do need to get 6 dragons, so that's gonna make it an easier time doing so, like if they want to do Phoenix Cave.
Yeah, that's a very time-consuming zip through there, though. I guess it's no more time-consuming than running up the tower, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I would much rather do that than, especially with no magic, run up the tower. Just sort of hope. You know, you can use tomorrow on the tower and have... Oh, Javinat0r chooses to like do this cutscene rather than just wire removing out of the castle. Possible he forgot.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't know very well. Like, it's kind of one of those things where you just don't think that, oh, I can remove the blockage in the door and just never be able to get back into the castle again.
Yeah. The first time I ever saw Y remove, it was Ficta had used it and had soft locked himself out of a seed because he left without checking Ancient Castle. And I don't understand why you would ever do that. Like, why would you go... It doesn't matter. But yeah, looks like he is going to... Javinat0r is going to go ahead and do the Phoenix Cave. South Figaro Cave is also a pretty fast check. You know, like, finding Locke isn't the worst just because that check can be done so quickly. But, yeah, both players doing similar checks here. We're going to see... Yeah, Kielbasiago is going to go down. He has to get that dragon, but he's not going to be pleased with what he finds there. He's going to be pleased to find Locke. Javinat0r still checking chests. Like, what are you looking for now, man? I guess these ones are at least on the way. You know, he's not going crazy out of his way to find anything. Like those chests that were out of the way, he's avoiding. So he's playing like he's in the mid game, which makes sense to me. So when Kielbasiago had his elimination race against Dozendy, he drafted finesse experience and did what he's doing here, where he's just playing it as if it were standard experience. He's playing with 4 party members and not really trying to manage the XP divide. And he wound up getting through, like he wound up entering his fight with Final Kefka later than Dozendy did, but Dozen unfortunately had trouble with his 3-man party. So it's possible that something similar could happen here. Javinat0r definitely taking a big risk going with 3 party members. You know, you hope that you get enough XP that it's gonna problem, but there's always a risk, you know. We haven't found Fenrir yet, so or Golem, so our calmness protection really is just Phantom. Setzer just bum rushed himself.
Yeah, that's a feels bad moment, especially now. That's a real feels bad moment. But whatever.
Yeah, Setzer has like, you can't feel like you don't have enough levels. Right, like once you've got Setzer at level 46, you're like, oh no, I needed him at level 50. Umaro, unfortunately, still alive. And likely to finish this fight alive.
Oh, we got some time. Yep, that's exactly what was going to happen.
So the big difference in terms of their the ability of these 2 runners, in terms of like the strength of their party. Kielbasiago has a much stronger Setzer, but Javinat0r's Cyan is definitely making a lot more progress than Kielbasiago's is. So they have similar builds, but haven't. Meanwhile,
Another red cap. Cool.
Meanwhile, Kielbasiago has 8 characters, and that's relevant because with 9 characters, you can skip the first half of Kefka's tower.
I kind of think that's what he's going for at that point. If you've made it that far and that's what's on the table in front of you, you might as well just go for it.
Yeah, I feel like he's likely to do that. Whether he wants to or not, he's probably going to find another character before he finds 5 Espers.
Now, getting 4 extra dead checks is something that you absolutely don't want to do. But I mean, it's like I also don't want to do my taxes every year too. But here we are.
Banon, of course, not a character that you necessarily want to find. All of his checks can be characters. So Javinat0r going to Cyan's Dream. This we know is going to reward him with three characters. He's going to be happy to see that, or rather three Espers, 3 characters. Not only be possible, but it would be quite frustrating. Kielbasiago gonna do that that nice fast South Figaro cave check. We'll see what that is, while Javinat0r makes probably a quick work of these Cyan's Dream, the first boss at least. Second one being Poultry Guys, we'll see. But yeah, I was hedging my bets. I didn't want to say I'm pretty sure it's leader here, but yeah, leader is an easy one. Meanwhile, Guardian on Kielbasiago's side.
I mean, you're happy to run into this jerk with a full party. Let me tell you that.
That is true, and interestingly enough, Guardian gets way harder the longer the fight goes. But you know, HP is still has that hard cap, so it's likely that Kielbasiago is going to be able to do the 65,000 some odd damage before Guardian can really get too deep into his spell list.
Yeah, he's, like I said, the reason why he's not fun to run into in Javinat0r is because of that just glut of HP, and if he gets into the Dadaluma phase of the fight, it's so annoying.
Yeah, and it, like, his phases don't get better. Kielbasiago gonna be glad to take care of him early. To run into this, oh wow, another experience egg. To run into this character late is definitely preferable when you're able to do a lot of damage early.
It's also not bad to run into Guardian early if it's like standard flags and you've got like a ton of Thunder Rods or just some way to blitz through the defense, but yeah, for the most part, it's just please don't be in Javinat0r.
Kielbasiago gonna do the Velt check. This cannot be dead, so it's either a character or an Esper. We're lucky to run into Lobo.
2 hours into the seed. Hi, Lobo.
Yep, taking a lot of trash mobs. Unlucky to not see a Gao there, though. Okay, so Javinat0r's gonna see how well he can handle this Poultrygeist.
I mean, this is going to be a chance for Javinat0r to catch up to, just because with the kit that Jav has now, it's going to go so much faster.
Yeah, you can see, like, just recalling, Kielbasiago was taking this fight doing about 1,500 damage at once. Meanwhile, Cyan doing 2,000 per swing. Sets are landing for 1,200 each time. It's going to be much better.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with this randomizer too, is like, when do you feel like you're good enough to just start going? Like, I mean, Kielbasiago got through that fight no problem, but
I wouldn't say no problem.
I mean,
but yeah, he did get through it, but it definitely took a lot longer than he would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, Jav is going to get through this fight, no problem. I mean, so
yeah,
Kiel is living on Struggle Street for a while there. So
he'll finally feel uncomfortable taking this next dragon.
See, all Kiel needed to do was buy 20 Super Balls, and the fight would have been free. Or have Go-Go to mimic Super Balls.
Not that dragon either. So Poultrygeist down for Javinat0r. He's going to get his second Magicite from this. He will not get a third. He'll get a Ragnarok Sword, which I would predict winds up in Celis' hand.
There's this jerk.
Yeah, what everybody's got, your lowest party member has 2,500 HP. I'd expect you can probably handle the Quake spell, though.
That's so. Are the dragons are not scaled in this, right?
No, they are scaled in this one.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if you'd chosen the 8 dragons, then it wouldn't be.
Gotcha.
Bum Rush, is it doing cap damage yet? It is.
Yep.
Bum Rush, of course, ignores defense, so once it's doing capped damage, it's doing capped damage. Yeah, Kiel going so fast through these now. Yeah, Javinat0r's done largely the same checks. He's got 2 espers that he hasn't found. One being... Oh, hey, he's gonna do Collapsing House. I wonder if he's gonna grab the esper from the Zen Merchant while he's here. Is he finally gonna... Oh, that's not cheap either.
It's half price though. I mean, what a deal! 50% off.
Hell, the gem box. You're never gonna use the gem box. Iron is a good esper to have. Meanwhile, Kielbasiago, do an auction house. Makes me think I might have missed one of the espers that he grabbed.
Oh, there's Banon. It's a pretty good one.
Oh, but he's here because he's grabbing Bowser's house as well. Okay. And I guess he knows where the one in Zen is. Okay. I don't have to assume that I was wrong. Meanwhile, it's not an esper. Is it a dead? Or it's not a character. Is it a dead check?
I love how they just nod to each other.
I just always hate how long this cutscene takes. I'm like, tell me what you're giving me. Fenrir, that could be important.
That's pretty good.
So Javinat0r got Siren, which they're both going to be able to get. You know, I'm assuming that Kielbasiago will eventually buy that Esper when he needs it. But Siren, like Siren's useful, but Fenrir definitely going to be important. And it looks like Javinat0r's about to take Atma.
Take Atma where? Just a dinner and a movie?
Expect... Oh, Kielbasiago!
Oh, this is not a fun fight.
Yeah, you can...
Wait, no, man, you got X rods. This is a fun fight.
Well, he's only got 3.
It's all you need.
Oh, well, yeah, if they're doing quad 9s. No, you can check what the thing is here. If you just don't press A, you can run out. So he could have skipped this completely, because...
yeah, it's totally peekable.
Yeah, and Strago, I mean... You just say goodbye on principle. You're like, oh, Strago, you're working on a painting? Yeah, just continue to paint, man. It's better. It's good activity for old timers. No offense intended, Edge.
None taken.
It's a great thing for confused old men to do.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, what Strago check are you going to do? Right, like you don't even have enough rods to really take out. Oh, he's found super balls. You know, you could use super balls on in.
I mean, you could peek. Yeah, I was gonna say you could peek tower, and then yeah, we don't even have berserk. Feels bad. We need to steal some Bacchus wine from Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I was doing playtesting for these, when I was doing, he needed 8 dragons, and I had magic turned off. I would just use Umaro in Fnatic's tower to handle the dragon. So I mean, it's possible to do that, but so if my calculations are correct, then Kielbasiago should still need one more Esper. But we'll see. Doesn't look like he does.
No, we're good. And that is a lot of people. So we're
He's gonna do the. Okay, he's not gonna be able to do the statue skip until he gets the dragons. So he's gonna have to fight the 2 dragons, and then if he wants to do the statue skip, then leave.
I've done that. It still doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel very good at all.
Certainly feels better than doing the whole first part, though.
Although Javinat0r, this is interesting. If Javinat0r does it, Javinat0r still needs a character for the statue skip, and he's not going to be able to get Realm. Actually, no, he can. Or rather, I was going to say he can't do Elzer's House, but he could do Realm if he wanted to do that tentacle fight.
Yeah, I think that's probably in the old plans here. Just
well,
he's gonna have to do the same thing that Keel's gonna have to do: is warp stone out after killing the dragons.
Well, I mean, he could just kill the 1 dragon, and if you kill the 1 dragon in the middle path, that means you can skip the boss in Inferno spot, right? Because Javinat0r hasn't done the. What are you doing here? Oh, okay. Yeah, Javinat0r hasn't done the boss for, or the Opera House dragon. So if he chose to take that dragon, then he could go in with 5 done. But yeah, for the 3rd race in a row, Kielbasiago enters Kefka's tower far ahead. It's Javinat0r.
Yeah, but you know what? You are well prepared for this one.
It's true, you do have... Oh, man.
I mean, if you were gonna luck into X fight, this is the way to go.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I guess it's gonna be easy enough. Like, Magi Master isn't really a threat to this party, you know, and Cyan has a fair amount of strength, so he's gonna do 8,000 per swing. It's not a fast fight, but it's certainly not slow. Like, it's not Poltergeist slow. He's even taking the time to swap the Paladin shield over to Cyan. Although, Magi Master could cast Doom.
Yeah, that's the one thing you really don't want to deal with, so I can definitely see why Keel's taking this slow.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be safe. It should probably just be one more swing before he's done.
Looking pretty good.
Okay, so he's through. Now he's just got the 2 dragons left to deal with, and then yeah, and then we'll see what he's whether he chooses to warp stone out. I feel like you still do. But it doesn't feel nearly as good. So this dried meat is going to be the last Esper that Javinat0r needs. I feel like if you're Javinat0r, you say screw the skip. Nope. See, knowing that you still have to fight the 2 dragons, I might say screw the skip. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I mean, Kiel can go make a sandwich now, or just
He
reset.
save? This is Kiel. He usually saves.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
Right.
reset if he didn't save.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. I don't know. I still think warpstoning out is better than doing the whole switch and hit switches and flip characters, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, like both have their advantages. I feel like the skip is better, but is it better enough that you go for the tentacles?
I mean, they're probably the most brittle boss you're gonna fight at this point, but they're still tough.
Yeah, they still can, you know, seize you and slow you down. So yeah, this is likely. Well, it's likely to be the same story as was true of the last 2 seeds, which is that Javinat0r is going to start the Kefka fight slower or behind Kielbasiago, and sort of need Kielbasiago to be slowed down. But it looks like for the 3rd time, Kielbasiago won't have like any proper calmness protection.
Yeah, but I mean, Kiel's good enough to make. Excuse me, Kiel's good enough to make Phantom work. So.
Absolutely.
And
now,
you are doing just buckets of damage at this point, so just as long as you get Cyan, like, the timing of that right, just pop that, have Cyan swing, and you're good.
Okay, so he is going to make full use of this skip. So Javinat0r is going to take on this Dirt Dragon, and then he's going to, I believe, just send his characters down the middle route, skipping Magi Master entirely, killing White Dragon, and then going back in with the skip. So he's, depending on how long this fight takes, he's about 1 dragon behind. He's not going to have to deal with Magi Master. No, the first race, Kielbasiago had Fenrir but didn't equip it. He menued to equip it, but like just didn't for some reason. The second one he didn't find it, so he wound up using Palador, and he calculated the damage well enough that it worked. So we'll see what happens this 3rd time. Javinat0r sort of needs a little bit of help from Kefka for this to work. He was trying to warp out of the auction house or opera house. That's potentially like if it had worked, it would have been like possibly 1, even 2 second time save.
Unless it teleported you to the World of Ruin or World of Balance version, in which case...
Can you imagine, just to troll you? Okay, so yeah, Javinat0r, like I said, going to do the, just the middle group. Definitely a heads-up play. It's a drag form that he's so far behind. Well, he's not... Yeah, he's not that far. He's like... a Kefka tier. Although both parties are just so strong right now.
Oh, they're doing an unbelievable amount of damage right now. It's kind of... I just want to see how fast they can make it through Kefka now, because it's like all the difficulty was front-loaded in this seed, and Kefka is just going to get obliterated.
But yeah, well, both players spent a significant amount of time grinding, and when you take those grinds on top of 6 required dragons, you know, on top of just, you know, the bosses that it takes, like they both wound up finding 9 characters and a couple of dead checks. You know, there have been a lot of fights taken here. Like, I don't know if I'm even taking the time to kill Umaro.
That doesn't look like Java's either. And it's Tower of Ultros right now.
Setsu's using the Pearl Lance.
Whoops.
There we go. It's done. You don't even need to change Setsu's equipment. Just barely didn't have enough time to switch Celis' weapon back. Oh, so Kielbasiago doing the thing where he's doing the statue skip with just the one party. He's warping out. Looks like Jav doing the same thing. I don't agree with this.
I think if all your bosses are going to be at their HP cap, then you might as well just use a humongous party to get through all 3 of the, you know, all the bottlenecks.
How many times do you want to watch this cutscene, though? Like, how many times do you want to do the menuing to handle, like, to put the parties together and everything? I feel like, you know, you're strong enough. Like was this boss going to be a threat?
Yeah, I mean, Welk's not going to be a threat, and I think I would definitely do this if I hadn't seen Magimaster, hadn't seen Guardian, you know, like a whole bunch of those guys.
Oh yeah, that is true. But Javinat0r hasn't seen Magimaster.
Yeah.
Magimaster. Yeah, he hasn't seen that yet, so he doesn't know that he's effectively skipped it. So the time it takes to kill the one boss on the left seems to be the amount of time that Javinat0r is behind. He could catch up, you know. It depends. You know, this is always a time when, like, menu boss can be a big deal. I mentioned this as he's menu bossing.
Yeah, it always seems like you try to go faster than you normally do and start making the panic mistakes. It's just like, it's Kefka's Tower. Like, during the middle of the boss fights is when you should be really thinking about what equipment and menus you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, or even better, just do everything before Kefka's Tower, and then you don't even have to go into a menu.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, what time are you going to save jiggling your equipment around? Right, like, generally not a whole lot. So, Javinat0r gets through this very fast Rizapass fight first, but he sort of needs to because he still has an extra boss to fight. But he is making up time in Kefka's Tower. But do you send 4 party members down the middle route and then, like, do 2 and 2?
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yep, he's not doing it though. I don't know, like he's not watching Kielbasiago's race, so he doesn't realize that he's only got like 90 seconds that he needs to catch up.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could see where Kielbasiago was, he'd probably risk it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely seems. It feels like it makes sense from Javinat0r's point of view. We're gonna see. It could very well be that the tale of this series is that Javinat0r loses each race by a small amount. His lead right now, or Kielbasiago's lead right now is about 90 seconds, which is significantly shorter than the amount of time it took Javinat0r to... Oh wait, is he ahead 2 bosses? Nope, never mind. His lead is a little bit longer than that. I misspoke. But either way, like, Javinat0r lost the first race by something like 5 or 6 minutes. He lost the second race by just under 3 minutes. You know, this race looks like it's closer, but we'll see. Definitely coming down to the wire. So, anybody who's tuning in right now, I hope you're having fun. Normally, I would try to compare the exact time that they start Kefka's Tower, but that's going to be difficult with Javinat0r's timer just slightly behind. Actually, I can just use Kiel's timer because they are synced. So Kiel's going to start this final Kefka fight officially at 2:25:18.
All right, here we go. That is a lot of HP for this last fight. A lot more than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, at this point, do you even worry about facing Quake?
No, I still think you do everything in the correct order, though. Just if not to face Quake, then just to save time.
The fastest final battle I've ever fought was with 4 jumping characters, and I just held A the whole fight. You know, those inputs don't feel like they take much time, but apparently they add up.
Well, I mean, that's the reason why you like never see anybody do Genbox Economizer quick in this game. It's, unless you have access to Ultima, but since we never do, that's why you never see it.
Well, there are flag sets where that would make sense. If you were playing a high magic seed where the requirements were really low and you're jumping into Kefka's Tower at level 25, by all means, Gembox Economizer quick. But, you know, when you're in levels are in the 50s and you're doing thousands of damage, it just don't make sense. Yeah. So Tier 1 is down on Kielbasiago's end. Meanwhile, Javinat0r, I mean, he's got his final menu done, I think. He's got to save one more time. But...
Yeah, there's Siren, so we're taking all of the possible time saves we can get here too.
Well, Siren, like Siren, even if you're like worried about or not worried about the damage, Siren's gonna save you time just from the stupid time that it takes for Magic to cast all of his spells.
Yeah, and Magic likes casting so many like multi-targets too, and that adds up. It really does.
Yeah. Plus, when he's low on HP, he starts to spam his death counter, which is the several Dispel and Quarter, right? Even if that's not a threat to you, it takes a long time for him to go through 4 spells, you know?
Yeah, those are really slow spells.
Yeah, it's weird that Dispel has such a pretty animation and everything. It's generally not useful. Javinat0r started the fight at something like 2:28:20, something like that. So comparable time. He's got 3 party members as well. So fewer inputs. I don't know. We'll see how this goes for him. He's definitely got the levels.
I don't think. Excuse me. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. But we'll see. I mean, the thing is, you've got one fewer character that you can do weight tricking with as well, and I don't know if that would actually be helpful or not.
That's also true, and he does take the time to use Phantom to avoid any chance of Cyan dying to a counter there. I think that's a solid play. Like, I don't like that you have to take the time to do that, but when you only have 3 party members, you can't afford to only have 2. It looks like he's 1 full tier behind right now. Definitely made a lot shorter work of tier 1, and we'll see.
I mean, Javinat0r, let's be real though, made up an impressive amount of time in Kefka's Tower. It's just, unless Kefka starts being real aggressive in tier 3, this is not going to be enough.
I'm inclined to agree. We'll have to see though. You know, there's always a chance. Again, Fenrir could be a difference. You know, if Kielbasiago makes it through, but he makes it through with just 2 characters, it could be enough. And he also does take a lot of time to heal and play tier 3 very methodically and safe. It doesn't look like... Yeah, you've got a remedy. Oh, he's found his green cherries. Oh, wow! You got Celis getting the rare zombification here. That's gonna cost some time.
Yeah, that's looking pretty ugly. But I mean, Doomtusk is one of the big reasons why you want to just take Tiger out of the fight as fast as possible.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kielbasiago's through with tier 3. It took out Setzer with calmness, but you know it did not help Javinat0r in the way he needed it to. Cyan has over 6,000 HP total, like at max, and he's about to eat a fallen one and then swing for 6,000, maybe more, probably closer to 7,000 each swing. So that should make short work of Kefka here. Yeah, so Kefka's taken already enough damage to skip Fallen one. So, I'm probably...
gross. Yeah.
Get your GGs out, there it is. Kielbasiago finishes.
Kielbasiago finishes the tournament.
232-16, and with that, he will, be crowned the winner of this tournament. There was a prize for this tournament. He will be receiving some hurlers of his final party of Cyan, Celis, Realm, and I don't know whether we want to do Locke or Setzer, but we'll see what he wants. Meanwhile, it looks like he's ready to join us for an interview. GG, Kiel. How you feeling?
That was a weird one. It feels good. It feels really good to win. I'm just gonna start by saying that. I was completely unexpected to win like the whole thing, especially like, you know, I had to go against Dozen and whatnot. So I'm really, really excited to see that I won something.
Yeah, well, you've definitely shown a lot of improvement throughout this tournament and through the latter tournament. It definitely has been your month. How do you feel going? Like the last time you lost a draft, an official draft race was way back against Jexrock. You remember that?
Nope. That was a long time ago. It was like 2-3 months ago, it feels like.
Yeah. So you will be receiving a prize. I'm not sure how well you were paying attention to the rules, but there is the prize. It's going to be a Perlers of your final party.
The ones that killed Kefka?
Well, I was going to ask, do you prefer to receive Locke or Setzer? Because, you know...
Probably Locke.
Yeah, because Locke was there. Yeah.
Yep.
Immortalizing
Setzer kind of looks like a scraggly old fella.
Yep. Once again, Javinat0r is going to be facing Kefka. Like all three of your races were synchronous Kefka fights, or like you were fighting the final battle at the same time. So definitely edged out some very close races. You have anything like any thoughts towards that?
I mean, Jav is a really good racer. You know, I think everyone top 8 was pretty strong. I don't really have too much to say about that. Like, Jav put up... he had me sweating in the first two, like, really, really hard. This one, I'm so tired right now. Like, this is like 2 hours past when I normally sleep, so it's like kind of hard to put all my thoughts together right now.
Well, definitely GG to you. And again, thank you for putting together the bot. I feel like it's sort of fitting that you won, given the amount of effort that you put into making this whole thing possible.
Man, thank you guys for putting it up. Like, it's an awesome idea. It was a lot of fun. I don't know anyone who didn't really just enjoy drafting, even outside of the tournament. Like, I don't know. I think I looked up the stats like last week, and there's like 150 drafts that have gone on, which is since I started recording it, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, great idea. I appreciate you guys putting it all together.
I mean, thank you so much for helping us out with the bot and the coding as well.
No, it's no problem at all. I enjoyed it. Like, it's been a lot of fun working on it.
Do you have anything you wanted to ask Kiel before Jav joins us here?
No, I think yeah, let's get Jav in here.
All right, so we're joined by Javinat0r, another close finish. You know, you're just on the wrong side 3 times in a row. How you feeling?
Oh, it was a hell of a seed. So again, it's pretty ridiculous that we ended up being within like 3 minutes of each other on a seed like that.
Absolutely, it was very difficult to figure out who was ahead. You know, you both spent a lot of time fighting Reach Frogs. Feels like Jav, you got a little bit unlucky against the Senior Behemoth, where like you had the first fight where it was you just died to procs of Meteo, and then the second time you just had to deal with falling asleep over and over.
Yeah, I mean it was bad luck, but realistically, I should have taken like basically what I did after that, right? Take that fight, get up to like level 7. It doesn't make that much of a difference to the enemy, but it makes a huge difference to me. So yeah, it was a little bad luck, but it was, you know, it was misplayed. It took a little while to find the right strategy.
Well, yeah, you guys both seemed like you were flying by the seat of your pants there when it came to this flag set. You were the one who chose to introduce tough enemies into this and basically use an hour of our time. So how do you feel? What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, if I'm gonna lose, at least it's gonna be in a you know, a street fight like that, right? So I feel just fine about my choice.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I really like, not to toot my own horn, but killing Flame Eater by exploding a controlled bomb or a controlled balloon was probably my favorite thing that I did that season.
Oh yeah, I definitely thought that was really awesome. I wish that you did that to kill off the balloons before you started using those super balls.
Yeah, it didn't even occur to me that that was like, stuff doesn't occur right at the start, and then you're like, oh crap, should have done this.
Yeah, I
And then you
got you.
just kind of change.
Both of you seemed like you were a little flustered at times, and both of you seemed like you. I was saying to Edge, I think both of you feel like you're behind during this race because there were some significant time losses on Keel's side. He ran into Poltergeist way earlier and wound up with just a solo Setzer doing Aura Bolt for 1,400 damage.
Yeah, I think that was like a 10-minute fight. It was rough.
Yeah, it was. Both of you had a lot to deal with. It was especially. It probably felt rough after spending so much time killing those reach frogs, right?
That took a while too.
Yeah, it was. At least they were spitting out that money, but yeah, that took a bit.
Well, Javinat0r, definitely congratulations on getting this far. I gotta say, out of the 16 competitors, 2 people made it to the end, and you didn't have an easy time getting through here. You have any final thoughts for this tournament?
I just appreciate what you and Edge did introducing the draft. Like outside of this tournament, it's one of the most popular ways people are even just doing casual races now. So this was a really cool addition to the community. It started with the tournament, but now it's just become kind of a major part of the Discord and the races we do, which I think is awesome. So thanks a lot for that. And congratulations to Kiel. He's been absolutely crushing it lately in the ladder and in this, and he 2-0'd Doesn't, who is like a crazy amazing racer, and then he 3-0'd me, and I'm like, I'm okay. So yeah, I'm GG's to Kiel. Definitely some nice flexes there at the end for sure.
Yeah, he 3-0'd you, and you were I think undefeated in brackets. I mean, not like the issue with Jackamus, unfortunate notwithstanding, you 2-0'd Locke, which was also pretty impressive. So
I basically only lost to Doesn't and Kielbasiago. Those are the people I lost to. That was it.
I mean, there's no shame in either of those.
Absolutely not. Well, and I got swept, and all 3 matches were less than a 5-minute spread. I mean, if you're gonna at least there's no blowouts, right? Like at least it feels like we were both here, and I think we put on a bit of a show for all 3 races. So yeah, it was a good tournament. I think we had a good finish.
Honestly, I feel like out of the racers that I watched, you two leaned into the drafting process and were very thoughtful about what flags you wanted to do and what strategy you wanted to go with. So I mean, I think you're all great racers in your own right, but you were also masters of the tournament metagame too. So it's a lot of credit to both of you.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kiel, you have any final thoughts for the tournament, and anything you want to say to all your adoring fans?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out when I stream. GG's Jav, GG's everyone I played, everyone in the tournament, and you guys. Amatech for making the randomizer. That normal crap.
And absolutely. I'm going to add to that. Thank you to all of the runners who were willing to take part in an experimental format and who made it into this incredible event that it was. Thank you to SpeedGaming for helping us get these bracket stages streamed, and I'm really glad that we were able to conclude that in front of a SpeedGaming audience. So I'm going to throw it to Edgeworth to take us out with any final thoughts.
Yeah, just thanks to Amatech for putting together this randomizer, and thanks again to Kiel for setting us up with the bot as well. Just I'm glad that everyone found this tournament was a success, and this certainly isn't going to be the end of the shenanigans that Elastoid and I come up with. So glad you all enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope hope you out there who are watching also found it enjoyable as well. So with that, GG to our runners. Congrats, Kiel, and have a good night.